Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with a updated Zorga deck profile um, because I think I should do it before the news had landed. When we have new orders, we will probably be trying to change the deck a little bit. But if you don't see me upgrade, posting another video, then I probably didn't upgrade. But I think I should make my milestone here because Zorga is still my favorite deck to play with. It's the deck that gives me probably the most comfortable feelings and most confident choice when I am like picking a deck to play, especially if I am picking a deck for like tournament. I think Zorga is still a very good choice. And other reason I picked Zorga is because it can do a lot of fast action plays. When we have a lot of crazy decks like Chrono Jets, Youthberg. Not too sure about Ebisu because I didn't actually face the deck, but those two decks and even Eva can be very hard to deal with when they actually have more turns rolling on, and Zorga can actually tell them no because we do our actions very fast before they can start preparing, and once they drop the resources down, we just keep pushing and use of like fastest speed to actually win the game. So I still prefer to actually take Zorga into a tournament environment, and hopefully we can actually see more Zorga players being able to top in the future, no matter for the JP or EM format. So let's talk about the right line. It's still the Zorga right line, so that we can rotate cards, pick up order back, draw more cards. That's basically it. So far, I don't see anything still like best against this right line when we are playing Zorga. So here we are. And then 3 more Zorga in the main deck for personal riding, extra soul, plus 10k, get to draw, and it just important because for Zorga, even if we can't do an Alchemy Magic turn, a person right can still help us even when we are playing only one order. So I still think this is important, but if you really aiming for a very aggressive play, then you can cut one down for something that you need. But so far, unless I really need and one extra space, I will still keep a full playset of Zorga here. Next, the greatest card for Zorga in the game is Prince and Dragon. Allow us to do early rush as long as we have it in the drop zone and we play order. What I like to do with this card is during my grade 2 turn I pump it to a 20k line with 2 crit, which is achievable and sometimes even bigger, so my opponents will need to start dropping resources to protect themselves, or they take enough damage that when I get into Zorga, they will face a lot more threats and they still need to drop the card. So that's why I still like Prison Dragon. It's still the most important card in the play, but we do have a lot more problems to face right now. Eva will bind you, Chrono Jet will put you to the bottom. Those two are your biggest threats, and also Youthberg can send you to the bottom of the deck as well. So with Tempest, I think, not Tempest, but the green one, that will, as long as they reveal a grade 3 unit from the top of the deck, they will send your Prison Dragon to the bottom of the deck. That is another problem because once we run out of Prison Dragons, usually we don't have a lot of good aggressive turns because we are lacking the crit. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't use Prison Dragon at all. We still have to use it. We still should have a mindset that we need to actually use the card earlier. Push your opponent when you can, drop the resources, make him do enough good work, and then even if he goes, you feel less hurt. That's my kind of mindset when I'm playing with Zorga using Prison Dragon right now. And then 3 more Shadow Cloak to drop the order that I need to the drop zone for Alchemy Magic, get prepared early game, prepare something that I might think of using later to go to the drop zone first, so I need to worry about it coming up late or coming on time. The bouncing effect, I don't use it that much right now, but it's still a good play to help bouncing your PG, bouncing your triggers, bouncing your over trigger back to your hand for reusing purpose, so it's still a good effect to have, but I'm actually using this skill a lot less. And then for Headhunter is your cost reduction, is a 30 beater booster, is your early game pusher. Whenever I see this card in my hand, I'll play it down and bash. That's what I do. And it makes a very good pair with the Prison Dragon, because Prison Dragon is like 15k max with itself. Your Headhunter is a 13k with order. So as long as you play an order, they will be a 28k pair, and your opponents can't guard with 15k, and just call it a day. And if you do Alchemy Magic, you have the extra crit, and if you play some orders that pump attack, then it's more than 28k. That's baiting a lot of cards. Usually can bait a PG, so they are still a good pair. And my most optimal play is to have one at the back, one to get prepared to be called in here, and then play an order, then bring it back depending on the situation. If I really want to do a little bit of aggressive dropping cards play, I will plus crit, so my opponents will need to drop cards. Or if I actually want them to take the damage, then I will plus 10k, so they will see it too big and just take it. So you do have choices, and when we go over the order options, you will see why this pair is very, very strong for aggressive play. And then 3 PGs and 1 order PG, just because we do have more Chrono Jets, so we have a more chance to actually pull this off by using less resources. But I don't think it hurts. As long as you can get 1 copy, just put it in. It won't hurt you. Now let's go over the other order cards. So 3 GDR and 2 Miasma. I try to limit them to a total of 5, so that I don't repeat too much of myself in type of orders. But when I see GDR a more important card for me to pump the right power, so I'm running 3 off. If not, usually I'm only running 1 to 2 per the type of order, so that I don't see them both in my hand and drop zone while I don't have other orders and I can't do Alchemy Magic. I try to avoid that. But GDR are just that important to me, because even if you can't do Alchemy Magic, playing a simple GDR can still revive your Prison Dragon, can still pump your board to a level that you can still threat your opponent. This you can bring someone back, but you can see the actual unit cards that we use is not that much, so you might not be able to bring something that is kind of valuable, but GDR can at least turn something into beatable. Like even a trigger can still be a 15k, right? And then plus a Prison Dragon plus 10k is still a 30k line, so it's not that bad. But if you're only plus 5k to your front row, sometimes it's not big enough. But the combination of both is actually making the power line so strong, so I still suggest you to use both, but make a good balance between both in a number of 5, I would say. And then 1 Tearful Malice to reuse a Prison Dragon when you have no other ways to clear them, or when you are lacking counterblast, lacking souls. This card will just help you to do everything you need. And then 2 Weathering Souls, I usually use once per game, so the 2 off is kind of a protection just in case. Being able to +1 drive is quite good no matter you're at grade 2 or grade 3. At grade 3, your opponents will be more willing to guard you because usually they need to save resources to guard your 2 prison dragons with crit and will take your Vanguard hit. But if you are doing a triple drive, then they might consider to at least give you a 2 pass because they do afraid that in 3 chances instead of 2 chances you're going to break through them, right? So it's still a very good mind game card, and when you have like a full order hand, this is a good card to at least help you to switch another order into more cards in the hand for more chances to triggering, and maybe able to just flip the table around or even make your opponents feel a lot worse when you pull a lot more crits. Right. And then one of the natural death. Since I'm using this order, I will be dropping a lot of orders to the drop zone. Even though I will be alchemy magicking, but there are chances that I don't have enough orders for next turn. So this card is actually helping me to pick them back up, so I have a chance to reuse some of them, or like I can feel a little bit more comfortable to use order to ditch sometimes, not always. But do remember this card costs you a counterblast. Even though we have Hunter, usually we can avoid a 2 CB alchemy magic play, but just keep that in mind to do your resource control, especially for the counterblast, so that you can keep doing your stuff every single turn. And then one ideal far away is like a very good aggression for your Headhunter early game, because when you're at grade 2, you have 3 lines attack. 1 line is a Headhunter. You play ideal far away, give it to Headhunter, reborn a prison dragon, then you can just simply give it a crit, because this is 5k, this is 8k, that's 13, plus 5k for playing an order, that's 18, and because it's a boost, so you will be attacking 3 times, so that will be plus 15k more, you become 33k, 2 crit column. And if you choose to not gain the crit but power, it will be 43k. So no matter it's early game or later game, it's still a card that causes problems to opponents and ruining their calculations, and you can control how much power you actually want to give. So it's very good card still, and most importantly is the order that doesn't cost you soul, doesn't cost you counterblast, doesn't cost you extra hand, so while giving you some good benefit. So it is a very good saver when you don't have a lot of resources but you need to alchemy magic. And then lastly, I'm running 2 of the Frozen Resentment. So this is kind of an upgraded version of Spiritual Body Condensation. Instead of plus 5k, we actually get to look at 3 cards and put 1 into our drop. That is very important, not only to help us get pieces for alchemy magic, and also give us a chance to find more prison dragons to put them into the drop before we actually drive checking them. So I like this order a lot more, and I'm happy that we actually have this order to make our day a lot easier. And lastly, going to triggers, Story Key Over Trigger, the extra crit will just help because we are playing a fast game, and like a whole bunch of trigger effects will actually help turns the game around. Soul crit, because we do need souls. 3 more crits, because we do want to, again, a fast game. And 4 fronts, because they're 20k shield and making your Vanguard a lot more easier to actually just attack first when your opponent's trying to like 2 pass you. When you have a front, you don't need to think when you see the next trigger, so it's just great. And we do have a lot of ways to get cards, ditch cards, and then again, we are playing like early stage game, so we don't need like a whole bunch of cards in hand to guard, unless the game really go that long. But usually we are controlling the tempo, pushing opponent, so our resources will be kind of the same, and we don't need a lot of cards to actually protect ourselves. So we are, instead of using like draws to like survive a little bit longer, we are choosing cards with a higher shield value. And then lastly, I'm running so far 4 of the normal heals. You can choose to use the one that stopping multiple attacking. I think that is a better option because I don't see any kind of meta decks are actually going for gain crit. So I don't think using that heal is helping you out. The other one maybe, but even if so, I'm only putting 1 if that's the case. So it's up to you. But if we are talking about just basic shield value, the normal heal is still better, and they looks more pretty. So yeah, that's basically it. So the deck list is here. I'll also explain how you should like plan your early games, which to me, since we are only making basically 3 attacks per turn until we have some upgrades that allow us to do a 4th attack, which is not likely happening for now. We need to try to make 5 attacks as much as possible every single turn, and we need to create value from those 3 attacks. So for example, like having a turn like this is still important, because as long as your opponents don't have any trigger, this is all baiting a card from their hand. And once you get into this and start doing plays like this, you're baiting a lot more hands, right? And once you go into Zorga, what you are hoping to get is something like this, and maybe this. So every single attack like is not easy to guard, and your opponent can just give you all the resources as long as you push them hard enough, if you can. Because if you can't push them, and when they start setting up, you will be the one that in trouble. Even if you are using draw, their multiple attacking power with their Vanguard, it's just so crazy. Or like episode will just minus your Vanguard, so you need to use a lot more cards to guard, which since we are using Prison Dragon as our beater, we don't actually have the leisure to intercept a lot of times. And then like Chrono Jet, Yuberg, they just hit you so hard with their Vanguard with drive. So we are trying to do our best to stop that from happening by being aggressive. I hope I explained this good enough, but if you have any questions, feel free to comments down below, let me know, and we can do a further discussion, or like on some ideas on how to pilot the deck, or some mindset of playing Zorga. Feel free to discuss, and I'm happy to just discuss in the comment section down below. If you like this deck profile, make sure you do give me a like too, so I can get more support from you guys, and that's probably will also help the algorithm. Yeah, that's basically it. Subscribe to the channel for more deck profiles, for more unboxings, for more deck fights. Yeah, I think that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.